I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, like, enough is enough.
I love Taraji. She's an amazing actress. Good. There's no beef with us at all.
And according to rumors, producers almost had to shoot the scenes they were in together separately. That's how much they didn't get along on set. Now, the rumor is that it's because of Nia Long.
Y'all, did Nia Long really try to get Taraji P. Henson fired? Cause y'all ain't even gonna believe this. And it's all because Nia wanted to snatch Taraji's main role in Empire. But let's be real a second for a millisecond. There can only be one Cookie Lyon, period. Things got so bad though that Taraji was ready to throw hands and another cast member had to step in. There was shade, drama, and straight up chaos, all because of Nia Long's jealousy. Sis wanted to be Cookie, and Taraji was spilling everything. Let's dive right in.
Cookie, I'm running a little behind, darling.
That's all good. You just need to tell whoever that is they got it found.
I'm sorry, tell me what?
Tell you that you gotta get out of that chair because it's time for my appointment.
Oh, well, we'll be done shortly.
Oh.
Give me 1 second, please, madam. I'm sorry, Cookie. She came.
So Taraji and Nia were at each other's throats on set of Empire to the point where producers had to figure out how to shoot their scenes separately. That's how bad things got. They literally stopped speaking to each other whenever they were on set. Now, Nia had a reoccurring role in season 3 as an ex of Lucius Lyon, and let's just say her character was not sitting well with Cookie. I mean, the real Cookie, Taraji. But it turns out that drama wasn't just for the cameras. Nia and Taraji's real life beef was just as messy. Sources say it was almost impossible to film the scenes they had together. The tension was that thick. It got to the point where producers had to block out how to shoot their scenes separately because these two just couldn't keep it professional. But here's where things got even wilder because Nia Long wasn't just clashing with Taraji. Sis was stirring the pot behind the scenes, allegedly trying to get Taraji fired. Why? Well, so she could weasel her way into being the main character in all of the Empire starting in season 4. But word in the streets is that Nia was pushing for changes to the storyline that would make her character more central to the plot, basically trying to sideline Cookie Lyon. And listen, we all know Empire wouldn't be Empire without Cookie. Well, Taraji wasn't having none of that, and when she caught wind of what Nia was trying to do, well, let's just say things escalated real fast. But let's keep it 100. Are we even surprised that Nia was gunning for Taraji's role? No, because she's been known to be disrespectful and difficult to work with in the industry. And get this, one of the biggest blow-ups happened when Nia showed up late to set. Now y'all know Taraji P. Henson is all about professionalism, so she straight up asked Nia if she was on her period or something. And y'all, that set Nia off. She flipped. It was like all that jealousy she'd been bottling up just came spilling out.
Why are you so mad? Are you on your period?
Next thing you know, they were this close to throwing hands, and it took the rest of the cast and crew to step in before it got ugly. And honestly, if you ask me, the crew probably would have gladly watched Taraji give her a beatdown because from what we've heard, they could not stand her either. And if the cast had issues with Nia, the hair and makeup team definitely had it the worst.
You two just Right, who's pulling kitty now, bitch? Touch me, team.
Okay?
Run this girl, ho!
News outlets reported that the hair and makeup artist actually filed a formal complaint against Nia because of her nasty attitude. In the entire history of Empire, this was the only complaint ever made. Now that says a lot. Sources told TMZ that she was consistently disrespectful and unprofessional, showing up late, talking crazy to the crew, and at times deciding at the last minute that she didn't like her look. And instead of working with the stylist, she would just chew them out.
Nia Long knows her light. Nia Long knows her makeup. Nia Long knows her hair. And you probably can't talk me into something else unless you show me.
One insider even spilled that they've had so many names on set, from rappers to Demi Moore, and nobody caused problems like Nia. So yeah, that tells you everything you need to know.
It looks like I'm about to run a Boston on y'all boys.
Man, that sound good. Put some money where your mouth is. Let's start with a stack.
Well, you know I like big spenders. Why don't we throw your whole catalog on the table?
My catalog? Nephew, What my catalog got to do with this table right now?
But if you think you've seen it all, you haven't, because the level of pettiness that Nia left was wild. See, when an actor finishes their last scene on a show, it's a custom for the assistant director to say, "This is actor's name, last scene," followed by a thank you and an applause. But guess what happened when Nia wrapped up her last shot? Crickets. Not only did they not acknowledge her departure, but sources claim that Terrence Howard conveniently suffered an allergic reaction at the same time, and the assistant director was suddenly too busy looking for Benadryl to announce Nia's exit. Y'all, if that ain't the biggest girl bye type of moment ever, I don't know what is. Now, some insiders even claim that the director did this on purpose because they were sick of Nia's antics. She was ruining the whole vibe of the cast, constantly provoking Taraji, and at that point, people were done. And instead of leaving quietly, Nia, being Nia, allegedly threatened to sue over the whole thing. Like, girl, where's the gratitude for even being on the show? Of course, Nia denies all of this, but we all know what we know. People have been saying for years that Nia has a chip on her shoulder when it comes to Taraji. You see, both of them have been in the industry for a very long time, but Nia always saw herself as the bigger star. And let's be real, she did start out way before Taraji even stepped on the scene.
Quit playing.
Who's playing?
But here's the thing, Nia has never landed a major acting role. Yeah, she was in some classic movies, but when it came to leading roles or a real breakout moment, it just never happened for her like it did for Taraji. So you can imagine how it must have felt watching Taraji not only come up, but completely surpass her. And on top of that, Taraji gets cast in Empire, a whole show that became a cultural phenomenon.
But the women that I was in constant competition with, mostly it was me and Jada. It was like, oh, do you want the brown-skinned spicy girl or do you want the light-skinned spicy girl? Which one do you want?
But let's talk about Nia's track record of complaining when she doesn't book roles, because one thing about Miss Nia, if she don't get picked, she gonna speak on it. One of the biggest examples, Avatar. Nia actually questioned why she wasn't even considered for Zoe Saldana's role in Avatar. Now, she did say she wasn't throwing shade, but listen to how she put it. I felt passed over on things for sure. There have definitely been moments like, why wasn't I considered for that? Like, why wasn't I considered for Avatar? I think Zoe's amazing, but I wasn't even a topic of discussion, you know? Because be for real though, what about Nia Long's film history made her think that Avatar was in her bag? Like, respectfully, Zoe Saldana has been deep in sci-fi and action-heavy roles for years. Meanwhile, Nia is more known for rom-coms and dramas. It's almost like she thinks she's owed every major role, and if she doesn't get it, she starts asking questions, and this isn't even the first time. She once said she wanted to do another rom-com with Eddie Murphy after starring in You People. Like, ma'am, let the roles come to you. Stop forcing yourself into conversations you weren't even a part of just because you're jealous. And if you thought the jealousy was bad, y'all, it gets messier, because let's not forget, Nia had worked with Terrence Howard before Empire even happened. Y'all remember the Best Man franchise, right? Nia and Terrence had that on-screen chemistry going way back, and then they worked together again in Life in a Year. So now here comes Taraji, playing Cookie Lyon, the ex-iconic wife of Lucius Lyon, played by Terrence Howard. And if you know anything about that show, you know Taraji and Terrence have chemistry for days. It's like they were work husband and work wife on and off set. But imagine how that must have made Nia feel. She had worked with Terrence for years. She was once the work wife, but the minute Taraji steps in, boom, she's the main character, the fan favorite, the one with all the attention. Yeah, it's giving bitter, it's giving press, and it's giving that should have been me. But honestly, that just might be the real reason. Nia was acting so reckless on set when wanting her gone. Speaking on being difficult to work with, Taraji is far from the first person to have a problem with Nia Long. When director Malcolm Lee was straight up asked during an interview on The Breakfast Club about who gave him the most trouble on set, guess who he specifically mentioned? Nia Long.
And Nia,
can be a bit of a challenge as
Yeah,
well.
well, yeah, she was a challenge up here a little bit.
She was, yeah.
Nia didn't want us to record her or nothing at first.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Now, if a director was calling you a challenge to work with, that's already a red flag. But y'all, it got worse. Nia's drama didn't stop with Malcolm Lee because Taye Diggs himself had a whole experience with her, and it was wild. So according to Taye Diggs, there was a scene in The Best Man where Nia was supposed to hit him, but y'all, she did not hold back. He said she smacked him on purpose and completely threw him off. And get this, he swore she put too much into it on purpose.
But then, thank you. And what the is that smell?
Woo! You know, you got some nerve blaming me for your skeletons, mister.
She slapped the out of me, like for real. And you get a moment where I go, woo!
Yo, was this acting or was there some real life aggression in that slap? Because if she did that intentionally, that's just plain unprofessional. Now listen, if you thought that Nia just had issues with one or two people, think again. Because let's not forget about her long-standing feud with Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. Now we all know that Jada and Nia have been in the industry for ages, but they never really got along. And at this point, it's given pattern. Because every time Nia is around another successful black actress, drama seems to follow. Now, we've all talked about how Nia Long and Taraji exposing her for being shady on set and wanting her fired. But that's not the only thing that Taraji has been through with Nia. Because let's be real for a millisecond, the fact that Nia even came after Taraji is beyond hypocritical. See, Taraji had already been vocal about the issues in the industry, how women are underpaid, how male actors get way more money for roles, and how black actresses have to fight twice as hard to get half the recognition. And guess who actually came to her defense at one point? Nia Long.
I mean, when I think of the men that I've worked opposite of, I had to make people believe that gangster rapper Ice Cube was a father figure.
So for her to turn around and do this to another black woman is giving snake in the grass. And we finna chop it down, cause listen, Taraji's frustration wasn't even with Nia personally. It was about everything that she's had to fight against in this industry. The disrespect, the pay gaps, the struggle for recognition, and then here comes Nia, doing the exact same thing to a fellow actress.
Yeah. You know? And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't apologize. Don't apologize. I think it's an important message for people to hear because we see the lights, camera, action.
And then they tell me we don't translate overseas.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face.
And they're not even surprised at this point, because most recently, Sherry Shepherd had a confrontation with Nia Long, allegedly because Nia claimed she was shading her. So let's just say, stirring the pot, yeah, seems like that's her thing.
Somebody grabbed my arms and they forcefully turned me around. And she says to me, she goes, "You've been shading me a lot." And I said to her, I said, no, I haven't, because I was really confused. And then she goes, "Yes, you have." And then she just walked off.
Now listen, one person calling you difficult, okay, maybe it's a misunderstanding. Two people, all right, maybe some bad blood happens here and there. But when you've got an entire list of directors, actors, and even crew members saying the same thing, girl, it's not looking good for you, because the pattern is clear, and you the common denominator, Nia Long, because it looks like you stay in a drama. And at some point, everybody's asking, is anybody making this stuff up, or is there some truth to this? But the wildest part, she hasn't even come out to clear her name. No statement, no interview, no y'all got it wrong, nothing. It's like she just letting this mess marinate, and instead of addressing the claims, she's still out here stirring the pot like she's got nothing to lose. I mean, if Taraji's situation felt too messy for her to speak on, she could have at least addressed the Sherry Shepherd drama, because if you're constantly being painted as a mean girl in Hollywood, wouldn't you want to set the record straight? No, radio silence from Miss Nia Long. And honestly, the longer she stays quiet, the worse it looks. So now the real question, Is Nia Long really the victim here, or is the real her getting exposed left and right? Is Taraji the latest person to call her out, or just another name on a long list of people tired of her antics? And if Nia truly feels like she's being unfairly painted as a villain, why isn't she saying anything to clear her name? Y'all, I got to know what y'all think about this. Drop your thoughts in comments below, because do you think that Nia Long is misunderstood, or is she really the industry's biggest mean girl? And while you're there, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the next video on your screen, because trust me, the drama never ends.